Wait, have you got your coffee?
Yeah, sir.
Oh, you put it in cups?
Yeah, not trying to support Starbucks, right? I'll buy
no
from them,
free
bro.
clout, yeah, just turn it
no.
down. Fuck Starbucks.
You're not getting any clout from me, bro. Fuck yourself.
Oh, fucking Hamza, welcome to Cigar Sundays.
Yes, bro.
Shisha Sundays. How has content changed your life, Hamza?
It basically is my life. and in like a really sweet way. Like how sweet is it to find your craft, make progress towards mastery, to make a great amount of money, which like supports yourself, your family, and also that genuinely like helps people and makes the world better.
Yeah, and you're documenting the journey as well, right? Like, there's going to be certain like videos, especially like vlogs and stuff like that. Like, I've made certain vlogs that I still watch today, like two years later, and I'm just looking at them like, oh my god, that was such a fucking good time, you know?
Yeah, I always speak about this like, what kind of started my self-improvement journey about 5 years ago was I stumbled upon this mental health course online, like this free kind of course by Yale University, where they taught like how to be happy. And one of the ones which was so interesting was called savoring, where basically when you're having like a cool experience, to have a few practices where you can kind of like enjoy the experience more. So there's a few things, you know, like smile and be present and whatever. But one of the most interesting ones, because I wouldn't have guessed this, was actually to take your phone and to take a picture or a video. Because you could definitely overdo this and you turn into some girl who always has to Instagram everything.
In the fucking club. Yeah, look how much fun I'm having, guys.
And as soon as the camera goes off, just like, But if you don't go overboard, if you do it in quite like a sweet way, it makes the experience better. So when I was in like super strict like self-improvement stage, like, you know, a few years ago, I would go for a run, and anytime I'd see something beautiful, like a random plant or a bird or something, I'd stop and take a picture of it, not like a selfie, but just, you know, a picture of it, and I'd see them in my photo album and be like, oh, like that bird I saw there was so cute, or like, you know, I saw something.
I remember this,
like,
when we were working together, I was editing your videos, you'd be talking about this concept, like, I'll take a picture of rocks and stuff, and then I'd have like just pictures of random ass rocks on my fucking computer. Like, oh, cheers, Hamza, I've got a fucking rock here for B-roll. Yeah, and you were getting all the boys to do it as well. I remember it was like there was like a chat in the Discord.
Favorite leaf or something of the day.
Yeah, take a picture of your favorite leaf and then post it. Yeah, good times.
That's wholesome as fuck.
Yeah. What was it like? What was it like working with me early on, bro? Like when we were like working together on the YouTube channel, like very early days. Talk about that, because I'm kind of curious to hear you speak about it. We don't really speak about it too often.
Apart from right now, that was probably my favorite time of life.
Yeah.
It was like you're building something. It's purposeful. My life outside of work was also sweet as well. You know, I was like super healthy. I was like exercising a lot. You know, like away from bad habits, whatever. And then in my work life with you, and also friendship with you, was like, it was just, bro, it's fucking awesome having like a close friend who you can really open up to, who you share a very similar kind of humor with. So me and you, you could lock us in jail and it'd still be funny.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
It'd be like, it'd be funny as fuck. We don't even need like outside stimulation or anything. It's just the conversations we have. Thank you. And then, when you're building something, and that really kind of creates a stronger relationship between you guys as well, because
100%, bro.
You know, if we're doing something separate, which we are now, like we're building something, but in sort of parallels. We're going in the same direction, but in our own boats. But back then we were in the same boats, which was like an extra closeness that I've not basically ever had again. I mean, to be fair, I've got it with people who I work with now, but like not to the same extent it's always been with you. So that's like a very special thing, is like, you're building something with your best mate. What life's better than that?
Bro, I'm still so attached to like the work we did and the work that you're doing now, you know?
Yeah.
It's so true, but like people say like the best sort of relationships, friendships, etc. is forged in shared sacrifice.
Yeah.
The amount of sacrifice that we shared together, like, bro, like, you were such an autist back then, like fucking full monk mode, like shaving your head, like... You know, and we both started with fuck all as well.
And it fucking worked as well.
Yeah.
All this shit that I preached to the boys on my channel, and it fucking worked. And here we are. It took a few years to become like a millionaire, to have millions of followers, to become ultra disciplined, to get my physique, the mindset, my confidence, certainty in life. We worked so fucking hard. We sacrificed it. Like you know it better than most people who even watched me. How many like girls I was into who I sacrificed, I left behind because I was like,
that's always the fucking hardest, bro. Bro, my life completely fucking changed.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like, I honestly think if I didn't figure things out, you know, like I probably had maybe 6 to 12 months before like I'd maybe fucking kill myself.
No.
Straight up. Like I was fucking down horrendous, bro. Even when we were working together, like, and I was still trying to figure stuff out. Like I was in the struggler stage, bro. It was so tough. I remember calling you at like 2 a.m. like walking home from the gym. Do you remember that conversation where I was just fucking skits, just like losing my mind, and I was like really fucking depressed, and I was just like, I was telling you like, bro, I'm literally having thoughts of like jumping in front of a car right now.
Is that the night that you had that song on? Intro or
Oh god, outro, man, that's such a heavy song. Yeah. No, that wasn't that night. I had numerous nights where I wanted to put myself in front of a car. But
when we played that song and then we pissed in the pool. Sam has this song that like means a lot to him because he was thinking about killing himself when he was listening to it.
Yeah.
And as like a moment of like, you know, this was years later, as like a moment of showing like, oh yeah, how much progress you've made. We put it on when we were in this villa years ago.
In Thailand.
And it was like proper like, you know, like serene and beautiful, like a heartfelt
last day in this villa.
Yeah, and both of us like we stood at the pool and we just I don't know how the fuck it even happened.
Just pulled our pants down to our ankles and just pissed in the pool at the crescendo of the song. It's M83 outro. So at the crescendo of this song where it's like, now and forever, I'm your king. That's when I nearly jumped in front of a van and I didn't. And I see that like spiritually and like, I see that as like the last opportunity to like, you know, kill myself, and I passed the test, and now it's like, okay, I've got through that moment in my life, you know. And then like a year or two later, I'm in Thailand with this motherfucker, and we're just like, we've just had like the fucking most insane 2 months of our lives, like, you know, and it's last day in this villa, and we're like, we should piss in this pool and play out. And I'm pretty sure we got a video as well. Like we set the camera up and we fucking pulled our pants down to I just pissed in this pool. I don't know why. It's just like we just mark our territory. This is our fucking village.
I remember we got in the taxi to leave, and you're like, "Oh, 1 sec, you disappeared." And then you went.
I went a step too far, bro.
Yeah, and then you went off. You came back with a smile on your face whilst I was in the taxi waiting for you. Like, what's taking so long? And you went, I've just pissed in your bathtub. And I went up, I had to get something as well, so I went up afterwards, and there was just like this yellowy, dehydrated piss in the bathtub. And I was like, no, that's actually too far. I put the water on. I was like, that's too bad. Honestly, I have some respect, bro.
Poor cleaners, yeah.
I got a 5-star review on Airbnb after that. We
Isn't that the villa we burnt to fuck as well? Should we tell the story? Are you cool with telling that story?
Let's do it.
Yeah, okay. So me and Hamza, we did mushrooms a few times while we were in Koh Samui for the first time. And there was this one time where we did them, and it was like, you know, we were like an hour and a half in. It's like, these mushrooms ain't shit, you know? But what Hamza did is he went into his room and set up a candle. And like there was no candle holder, so I think he used some foil or something.
It was like this steel cup that was in the bathroom for like a toothbrush.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was like steel, textured like steel.
Yeah.
So I put a candle inside of it. It's like a candle holder. Fell asleep a little bit, woke up, didn't really feel the shrooms. Okay, these shrooms aren't working. So I went outside.
And then you came out.
And then then we smoked weed, so we got high. And then Sam went inside to like go to the toilet or something. It was so funny because you walked in like 20, 30 steps first. And then you went, Hamza, fire. And when I looked, like the whole villa was full with smoke. But you only realized
I was so high I didn't even realize. By the way, we should add, we went like kind of degeneracy in the last 2 weeks of Thailand. Because it started off really well, and then like it just, we fucking fell apart. I don't know, we weren't ready to live together at that point, I guess. But yeah, so we did mushrooms, and then they didn't work, and then we smoked weed. And then I walked into the villa to get some water, and I genuinely, the villa was full of smoke. I was so fucking high, I didn't even realize. About 10 seconds in, I just go, fire! And then immediately I sprint to my room because I thought like, fuck, I had a candle. I did some candles as well. I had my fucking room's on fire. I didn't know Hamza did candles, so I just sprinted to my room. He sprints to his room. It turns out it's his room because he used his steel cup and there's fucking fire like going
cup,
up the wall of this multi-million-dollar.
It was like plastic, so it all melted. And then the candle got onto the wooden thing that I put it on, like a wooden like bedside table. And when I got in, there was like a fire, maybe like this big, on like basically on the corner.
It was on the ceiling, bro. Yeah.
And the whole room was like massive smoke, everything. My brain just shut off. I got in a flow state. The moment I saw that, I had zero thoughts, didn't even know like what I was doing. I just saw the fire, ducked a bit low, grabbed the water bottle, doused it out, and held my breath the entire time. Because there was a fire in my university hall, and I remembered that when it happened because the girl who put it out, she had to go to the hospital because she breathed in too much of the smoke. So I remember we all learned after that, it was like you're supposed to duck down if you're doing anything, like, you know, where there's a fire.
Yeah, you get low.
So I was in like a full flow state, zero emotion, didn't even run, didn't get scared, just grabbed a water bottle and just like that was it. Yeah, you...
Bro, locked in so hard. Imagine the shrooms hit and you're just like in a room and it actually hit and you're just lying there in bed and like the room's on fire. Like, oh,
you think it's part of, you think
wow,
it's like the visuals.
This is a crazy trip, bro.
I've never had fire visuals before.
Bro, that's so fucking dangerous. Though.
Imagine if I actually fell asleep and like almost passed out.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. That is. Imagine if I'm tripping and I'm in my room. My room was
there was no smoke alarm or anything in those rooms.
Bro.
Yeah, you're fucked, bro.
Fucked up.
And so afterwards, when we doused it out, my room was covered in all the black smoke, all the ceiling, ash. Every wall, all of the
wall was just black.
It was all black. And then the cleaner came, little Thai girl. And she walked in my room and looked at me weird, and I went like, "Oh yeah, fire!" like this.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
As if it was just like normal, and she went, "Oh, okay," like this. So she went in there, she disappeared. I swear to God, for like 20 minutes. Came out, it was spotless. And you know, I was thinking honestly, as well, "Oh, okay, I'll give her a tip for this." But then I just didn't see her when she left, and I was like, "This poor girl came in, just fucking." To be fair, that's probably not even the worst thing she's seen anyway. But then a few days later, we were leaving the villa. So this was like the morning or whatever when we were pissing in the pool. And then the people came to kind of like inspect the villa and see, you know, how, like if we had any damages. And we had like £1,000 in fines or something crazy. It must have been hundreds of pounds in fines.
Yeah.
There was like, they had to replace all the cushions in the outside seating bit because we put candles everywhere and there's so much wax over everything. And they looked at me, it was like, "Why is there so many candles?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." And they went like, "Oh, the fire." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And they're like, "Oh yeah, this thing broke. Okay, we had to replace this like little bedside table thing. The wall needed replastering. Outside all the waxes, they took all like the cushions off the outside seats and threw them away. I had to get new ones." And then all that was happening whilst I had a girl in my room as well. So I was like mid-fuck when they knocked on my door. I came outside, spoke to them a little bit and said, "Okay, they can go check this thing, whatever." Came back in, locked the door, started fucking again, like obnoxiously loud. And they had to like knock on my door again, opened it again. I'm like there with like just shorts on, sat outside. It's like, okay, there's going to be like an 8K baht fine or whatever it was, like 14K bahts or something. So I text you, "Can you go get to the ATM and get it for us?"
Yeah,
and then once we left, I checked my Airbnb and it was like, "Oh, Hamza and his friend were amazing guests."
Yeah, for sure.
And then, you know what's funny is I'm 5 stars on Airbnb, and that's a pretty normal experience for the places I've stayed in. There's like another place, there's like a massive hole in the wall from me fucking, and like the couch kind of like bumped into it. She texted me.
I thought you were going to say you were fucking the wall. There's a massive hole in the wall. Just got a bit fucking horny. Just drilled a hole in the wall. That's what I did.
That, and I got a 5-star for that. The one in Thailand in 2023, where again I was on shrooms and this fucking white dog started chasing me when I was on my bike, and it scared the shit out of me. And then like 2 days later, when I was like recording a video, inside of the fucking villa, the dog's there. Like it just came in from the back or some shit me up. But I opened the door like aggressively and I saw it like, you know, like slipping, like scutter on it. Yeah. No. Like imagine I open the door and it's terrified of me. So all this time I was scared of it because I kept on seeing it and it kept on like trying to bite my leg on the bike. But I opened the door pretty loud when I saw it and I was like shouting. and its feet went like, and it like ran away. So I swear to God, I ran after it, pulled down my shorts, and I pissed like a line across like where the entrance was, for the back. So I was like, I've marked my territory. But I was with my ex-girlfriend, and she just watched this. Like,
That's
what
some
the
mushroom
fuck?
activities. That is,
And then
bro.
5 stars for that. Hamza and his girlfriend were such amazing guests.
Oh, bro, we sound like such degenerates, though. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
we are. I'm done pretending, bro.
Look, guys, I swear we're not this degenerate. Sometimes, sometimes, guys, we veer off the beaten path a little bit. We get a bit adventurous with it,
Sometimes. No, but I back that as well. I've always been like in my content. I always tell the guys, be like extreme in your growth on your normal day-to-day
the
routine.
extreme indigenous.
Yeah, but why not? But look, so many young guys that they're locking in these days, right? They go into the gym, they're building businesses. The one thing they're missing out on is they're boring as fuck.
Oh, bro, there's so many
they're skinwalkers, right?
Yeah.
Skinwalkers is a good word for it, like NPCs. So if you're building money, you're getting into like a business career, you're leveling up, going to the gym, eating clean, no fap, all this stuff, okay, awesome. But then the problem is if you're not doing anything fun and you don't have stories like this, you've built up all these things that are kind of nice, but the single most important thing about life is enjoying it. Like that's, when you think about it, the purpose of life is to enjoy it. Now that I've done like a full circle, I've experienced a lot of life. Luke Belmar actually taught me this. I was like, yeah, of course it is, bro. Like for so long I obsessed over some like sort of masculine purpose thing of like, oh, I've got to sacrifice, I've got to be disciplined, whatever. No, like, yeah, sure, do hard stuff, but like the purpose of life is to enjoy it. That's the ultimate victory. If you've not enjoyed your life, you're a fucking loser. It's simple as that, right? People like almost flex in the sense of like, oh yeah, my life's miserable. Okay, well then you've just got a low level of fucking ambition.
Yeah, it's kind of like an ego posturing thing as well, isn't it? It's like this. I've noticed this with myself. I like to self-identify as a hard worker,
yeah, exactly,
and it's like, oh man, like fucking just hitting oil rig all day, man. Like, yeah,
That's gay as fuck, bro.
Yeah, like it's something that I'm like having a little bit of a paradigm shift on, like while I'm here in Bali, because it's like I come downstairs and you're just like working absolutely effortlessly, like just smash out fucking 8 videos, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
I've never made progress when the thing's been hard.
Yeah,
like, I've never made progress when it's like agitated.
You choose if it's hard. That's the
thing.
That
it's just the mindset thing, right? So if you're like this is David Goggins, I was kind of in that mode. Maybe, and this might just be the bias of like you needed it when you were younger, and now I've got to the point where I don't really need it or something. But for me personally, like I make fantastic progress in whatever I do when I make it effortless. Yeah. When it requires a lot of effort and discipline, it's a bit of a flex because traumatized people especially think like, whoa, like, his life's really hard. Whoa, it's like David Goggins. Whoa, he ran on broken knees or something. And it sounds like a flex, but it's like you get to a certain point in your journey where you've achieved quite a lot and you're happy and you're so fulfilled. You've done a lot of introspectiveness and healing and whatever. And I'm like, yeah, that just sounds gay as fuck. It's like, okay, I achieved so much, I'm so successful, and it was all miserable. Okay, well, this is like this level of success. Congratulations. You got the success and you were miserable whilst you did it. I'm just more ambitious than these people. I want the success and I want to have a fucking sick time whilst I do it.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's just the next level.
It's multifaceted masculine excellence. Like you can like autistically lock in on like, oh yeah, I'd make a fuck ton of money, and you could be like Bill Gates, but I wouldn't trade my life for Bill Gates.
He's a little virgin, bro.
He's a pussy. Yeah. He's got no moral like integrity. He's fucking gay. His wife probably cheats on him and shit. So what's the fucking point, bro? Well, who knows? Actually, maybe he's a fucking crazy guy. But to me, like, I don't know, he seems to just lack any sort of like spine and backbone, and it's like, well, what's the point then?
Yeah, because it's interesting.
You gotta hit everything, bro.
Especially when it comes to attracting girls, right? Because if we're all honest, like one of the biggest reasons why we as men work so hard is because we want to increase our SMV and we start attracting girls and we get to like, it's kind of like that's
all roads lead to girls.
All roads lead to stinky hole. That's the North Star of most men's life is just hole. Like, yeah, just that.
Pussy.
And you don't even need a girl for that. Just make a hole in the wall like I did. Just shortcut the success and go back to your video games. Bro, when these sex bots come out, it's going to be so so nice. I can't wait. I've pre-ordered one.
I'm going full fucking Wally. Fucking put me in the pod. Slipping on strawberry milkshakes and shit.
For like 6 hours straight.
This is a machine that jacks off for you.
Now that's the purpose of life, bro.
Yeah, we did it, guys. Humanity, guys, we did it. Capitalism, hell yeah. Fucking hell. The Industrial Revolution really fucking cooked us, eh? Oh, fucking hell.
Best use of technology.
Oh, God, what were you saying? I forgot.
Yeah, so look, a lot of the reasons why we work so hard is because you're going to become more attractive and you want to attract girls and you want to have that sort of requirement that's needed.
Yeah.
We're just being honest, right? There'll be a few fucking little philosophy, little
Whoa,
talks. Actually, I do this for myself. You're a fucking loser then. Honestly, you're a fucking dog. Just shut up. Just if you don't have the confidence to admit you want to fuck, I think you're a fucking pussy. I think it's disgusting.
Not even just want to fuck, but you
just
want
attractive.
female. Yeah, you want to be a
bro.
fucking.
Bro, the greats,
person.
all the greats were like fucking any artist, creative, whatever. You'd always hear their biographies. It's like, oh, I did it all for my wife. I did it all for my love of women and everything. Of course, bro. And there's nothing wrong with that.
If you don't have that like masculine imperative to like pass on your genes, you're just so gone. Like when I meet a dude and he tells me, like there's exceptions to rule, but like when I meet a dude and he tells me, oh, I don't want kids, I'm always like,
that's fucking
why?
Gay. Yeah, that's so gay.
Why, bro?
Yeah.
What's the fucking point in all this if you don't want to have kids? You know, like we're learning all this shit so we can pass it on. Like you live on through your children, bro.
What the fuck else are you gonna do, bro?
Exactly.
What the fuck else are you gonna do with your time? It takes a few years to get rich. Let's just be honest. Unless you're fucking retarded and you've chosen a vehicle where you can't get rich and you've went to like university or something. Okay, fine, you're a retard. But if you've like chose a vehicle where you can get rich, you can get rich in your 20s. It's actually not even that fucking that difficult. And let's say rich is like, millions and stuff. But let's say, okay, you can get to like top 1% income, 10K a month. Bro, every fucking day I'm meeting like another 2-3 retards who are making 10, 15K a month. They're so stupid. And no offense to them, of course, they're like nice people. But when you live in a place like Bali or Thailand, where naturally anyone who's a Westerner comes, they're making money online. You realize, bro, that like these retards who binge drink, they're all making 10K a month. So if you're watching this and you're not, it's like, you should be embarrassed by yourself. You should think to yourself, the people who go out to like festivals and they jump up and down and stuff. A lot of them are here right now and they all make 10 to 20K a month. It's actually not as difficult as it seems to get rich. And becoming a millionaire in your 20s, I think is like, it's kind of like, like a quest, like a prerequisite now of like a decent life. Okay, in 30s minimum, like, okay, at worst, fine. But it's like, bro, it's 3 to 5 years, I would say.
Would you say the importance of saying no to doing bad things outweighs the importance of doing good things?
Wait, say that.
When you're trying to make like money, when you're trying to like pursue your whatever your facet of excellence is at that time, do you think the importance of saying no to distractions outweighs the importance of just saying yes to the right things?
Good question. You need to say yes to the minimal amount of things. So the amount of work you've got to do to get results in most areas is actually shockingly low.
Yeah.
Like you can go to the gym and do one set and you'll make like 50% of the maximum amount of gains you could possibly have made. Yeah. The same with work as well. You can become a millionaire working about 1 to 2 hours a day. That's not theory.
Honestly, I look at like you when you were like early on, we started working with 500 subs and like, I don't think your day was like complicated.
My day was the same as it was now.
Yeah, no, it's not that complicated. It was like
I woke up roughly at the same time. I would train in the morning. I would sit down, record like 1-2 YouTube videos, and then I would read and basically just like, just kill the rest of the day, meditate.
Yeah, but the main thing is you said no to shit.
Yeah, so this is what I mean. So look, if you say no to stuff, let's say you get into hard self-improvement. If you say no to stuff, you won't get rich. Why? Because you don't actually have the fucking stimulus to get rich in the first place. Getting rich and bodybuilding is the exact same thing. If you, for example, get amazing sleep and you have the perfect diet possible, you'll make exactly 0 fucking muscle if you don't train. If you train and do all the bad stuff, you'll still make some muscle. So the foundation of building muscle is this training stimulus. Yeah. The foundation of getting rich is the work stimulus, the vehicle you've chose. For example, okay, you want to be a content creator like us, done. That's the foundation. The amount of work you've got to do in that is probably, like, the guys watching this are too, it sounds mean to say this, but probably too insecure to realize this just yet. Probably genuinely about 5 to 10 times less work than most people realize. I genuinely think 10 hours a week is excessive, and it means you're being stupid in some kind of area. 10 hours a week, it means, okay, you're doing something retarded, you're editing your own videos, you're replying to fucking hundreds of comments or something, you're just opening apps and closing them and opening a website, closing it, whatever. 10 hours a week. If for this type of business, for example, you should ask yourself the question of like, okay, imagine a guy grabs your family, gun to their head and says, okay, from now on, you are only allowed to work 1 day per week. Let's say Monday. You can wake up, work on Monday, and then you can't touch work at all for the rest of the week. What's interesting is with this type of business, no one would notice the difference. Your exact same videos would be uploaded, scheduled, done. Your viewers would not notice any difference. The only thing is now you've got 6 days to actually live a fucking life, which makes that work day on Monday even better. So you do the minimal amount of work for the stimulus, which means you get to have a life where you level up outside of it. And then you've got to get rid of the bad shit that stops that stimulus from happening in the first place. So the stimulus, the minimum amount of work, like the 4-hour work week mindset, and the training stimulus is by far the most important, but it's way less than most people think it is. Once you've got that foundation, after that, it's like, yeah, sure, like, don't destroy your brain with like alcohol or something. Don't risk your business getting destroyed with some stupid decision. Don't stay up super late or something because your brain's going to be worse, fine. But those are marginal. The only, like, literally, if you don't train, if you don't work on the right kind of vehicle, you cannot make the progress.
So you're saying the doing the right thing is the most important outside of, like, yeah, because we've already said there's retards here making 10K.
Yeah.
And they're going out.
They're going out and stuff, yeah. It's like removing the bad stuff is very important, don't get me wrong. But if you haven't chosen the right vehicle, it's quite literally physically impossible for you to get rich.
I feel like that's where a lot of like guys on self-improvement sort of struggle with, though. They do the foundational self-improvement habits, they're meditating, they go into the gym, etc. Yeah. But like they're still kind of lost souls, and they don't really make tons of tangible progress because they haven't chosen a vehicle to actually like really pour all of their energy into.
Well, okay, like, you know, the training stimulus, another analogy will be speaking to girls. Let's say you're on self-improvement, you're a young man, you want to get girls, right? So you remove all the bad stuff, you remove porn, video games, everything, and you still get 0 girls. Why? Because just like the workout stimulus, the absolute foundation of getting girls is what? It's talking to girls. So these guys will do.
That's scary, dude.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'd rather open the web.
You just make the hole in the wall, bro. I'll go on.
That's easy, dude. I'll do that. That makes sense.
The guys they'll do all the hard stuff, right? They'll, you know, discipline themselves. They'll eat clean. They'll go to bed. They'll meditate. They'll journal. They'll do all this, and then they'll ask me like, Hamza, why am I not getting girls? I'm like, you fucking dumbass, bro. Like 50% of my videos are about speaking to girls. And then they'll be like, oh, I'm not getting any girls. Anyway, girls are a waste of time. It's like, well, yeah, no wonder. Are you a fucking homosexual?
Bro, can we talk about that? Like these dudes who say like, oh, I'm too locked in to talk to girls, dude.
So homo.
Too busy, you know?
What I always say, I have to compare myself to them, right? To give them an example. I say, listen, I was more locked in than you. I became a millionaire in a few years. So clearly I did the right things, right? I fucked the entire way through. I spoke to girls the entire way through. The longest I had was, yeah, sure, a couple of months here and there. Like after a breakup, I would kind of slow down. But if you tell me you don't have time for girls or you're not interested, I'd question your sexuality.
I think it's a really interesting way to come out of the closet.
Oh yeah, girls are a waste of time. No, they're fucking, like, I think that's the weird misogyny. You know, a lot of people call me a misogynist. I'm like, how? The definition of a misogynist is hating women. Bro, my entire fucking life is like set up for a crumb of pussy, bro. I would.
You love girls, dude. You love girls.
But I think the guys who say that, I think that's so fucking homo and also so like toxic as well. Like girls are a waste of time, whatever.
Yeah, and they're not leveling up the skill of women.
Bro, girls are so fucking fun. So fun. The most present I will be, more than workouts, more than working, more than the days where I've made like $10, $20, $30,000, it's just when I'm flirting with a girl. It's, bro, the ultimate flow state doesn't actually come from your work or even sport. It comes from seduction. Seduction is the ultimate flow state inducer.
The slow dance, you know.
It's fucking, bro. It's
bro. And if you don't
amazing.
talk to girls, like you focus, I'm just fucking locked in, man. I'm making money. You're gonna make a ton of money. You're gonna get
boring as fuck.
Rinsed,
Boring.
You're gonna get so rinsed.
The reason why, look, their logic is usually, okay, I'm not speaking to girls right now because I'll level up first and then I can speak to them. But then I would say, okay,
and I'll get a more attractive one later on.
Nah.
Dumb,
you
bro.
need to level up the skill with girls as you go through the journey. What you don't want to do is level up the self-improvement and even the work things, and then you're shit with girls and you're like this weird, awkward 25, 30-year-old guy who can't speak to girls, and you've leveled up all this stuff and you're still kind of ugly to girls because your behavior towards them is the single most important thing. Like everyone online, you know, they argue over, is it your looks? Is it your money? Is it your physique? I now, after really thinking about this for a long time, I've realized all those things are probably about genuinely, again, I promise this is going to shock people and they think I'm exaggerating, but I really think it's true. I think money and looks, including physique, is genuinely about 10% of attraction.
Yeah.
I think 90% of it is literally just your ability to actually just fucking talk to girls in the first place. Like that's the foundation. Kind of like you will not make zero gains in the gym if your sleep is amazing and if your diet is amazing, but if you don't train, you'll make no gains. It doesn't fucking matter how good your sleep is. You will not make gains in the gym if you don't train. It's the same with girls. You won't get girls if you don't fucking talk to them. If you think that like, oh, you know, I'll make money first, what's going to happen is you're going to turn into one of these like blue pill little dorks who now you're 25, you're 30 years old and you're making good money. And she was fucking broke guys this entire time. Girls fuck the fun guy. He can be short, he can be fat, he can be ugly, he can be tall, rich, broke. It doesn't fucking matter. He can be a junkie, he can be abusive. As long as he's fun, that is like the trait, the stimulus that will actually go 0 to 1. You have to just be a fun guy. You have to stimulate her emotions. And this is stuff that you'll only kind of learn as like actually in the skill of speaking to girls. It's kind of like strength training in the gym. You will only gain strength in like the compound lifts if you fucking hit them. It's as simple as that. It's like you need to hit them to get the strength increase. You need to speak to girls to be able to sort of like relax into your manhood and spike the emotions of a woman that makes her into you. All the money in the world can't fucking do that. If anything, it almost dulls the emotion that she feels for you because now you're too safe and you're a little dork and you're like, you know, you're on your routine and she knows you go to bed at 8 p.m. and everything. By far, bro, all the guys who they say, okay, I'm locked in and I'll get girls in the future. They end up very sadly disappointed because they realize like they're fucking dorks. And girls fuck broke guys, bro. Girls fuck broke guys. They fuck, you know, guys who've got shit physiques and bad grooming and everything. As long as you're fun.
I also think like, this is my theory, like, I think you meet women like in your life who are like potentially your wife, but like you have to you have to gain experience with women in order to carry the relationship. I think like men and women are aliens, and for two aliens to coexist, it's like one of them has to lead and another one has to be like quite fallible. So it's like you learn through experience how to lead a relationship through actually being in relationships with women and talking to them. And like you'll meet numerous women in your life who could potentially be, you know, the mother of your children and stuff. You'll probably fuck up the first, maybe the second, maybe the third.
The 10th.
The 10th, 11th, 12th. But like the more that you do that, the more repetitions you put in, I think the closer you get to actually having like a sick relationship, super polarized, like fucking like amazing, like great relationship, raising some amazing kids. I think that's what we all want, you know? And it's like, if you're not putting yourself in scenarios where you can gain that XP, you're going to be 35, sure, well done, you've made a bunch of money, but you have no clue. And you're going to fuck it up. You're going to have a relationship, your wife you're not going to be fucking, you're going to be unhappy, she's going to cheat on you, leave the kids, you know.
Most guys don't realize that there's inherent double standards in sex and relationships. And so men are not attracted to a woman with experience. Women are attracted to a man with experience.
100%. I think that's why women who are young should date guys who are older.
100%.
I think it's such a psyop that it's
we're the same age, or she's a bit older.
It's weird if she dates Leonardo DiCaprio. No, it's not, bro. Like, he has the experience, the life experience to actually lead her and give her like an amazing
It's just a gay little psyop to keep people like...
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you 18-year-old girl, date this 18-year-old guy who has no clue what he's doing, has never been in a relationship, and he's going to fuck everything up. He's going to cheat on you because he has no clue.
Yeah.
It's bullshit, bro. Yeah. Women should date guys who are older, who have already had all of that experience.
Yeah.
That is her best chance of having like a really awesome, fulfilling relationship.
Well, guys have just been told it's like relationships should be equal. They should be the same. We should have the same standards for each other. So
yeah, like, we'll wash the dishes as well, babe, you know.
Since they are more attracted to girls who, for example, haven't hooked up a lot, haven't had a lot of ex-boyfriends and stuff, guys think that girls are attracted to the same thing, and it makes it harder because girls will say that they are as well. If you ask a girl, do you want a guy who's a virgin or do you want a guy who's fucked hundreds of girls, they'll often say, oh, I want the virgin because I'm a virgin too. But what they say and what they actually choose are always different.
Don't ask a fish how to catch a fish.
They 100%, now that I've experienced enough of life and I've seen myself and friends and stuff, I'm telling you right now, no matter the woman, even if she's like a wife quality virgin girl, she still wants a guy who's experienced. What they want is the fantasy of the virgin who's experienced, right? It's the fallacy of like, okay, oh yeah, he's a virgin like me, but also he knows how to seduce me. And so no, now if he's a virgin, he's going to be awkward. He won't even be able to take your bra off.
He's probably doing cat.
Yeah, he's
probably that's in the drum and bass rave.
Yeah,
projecting.
100%. I questioned this about a year or two ago. I was like, should you get experience with girls? And in some ways, it felt kind of degenerate to say yes. And now that I've really thought about it, I'm like, yeah, 100%. Because if you want a higher quality girl, a lot of what's attractive to the girl is basically your experience and your skill of seduction, talking to girls. If you keep that at a blank slate because you're being a good boy and you're saying like, oh no, I'm waiting for marriage and stuff, the problem is that girl she'll say that she wants a guy who's waiting for marriage too, and in the future you're going to see that she marries a guy who's fucked a lot before they met. Of course, because that guy's way more charming, way more handsome, way more like, you know, sexy and seductive. You don't gain any points by being like a virgin as a guy. You don't gain any points by being like shit with girls as a guy. Girls gain a lot of points for that, infinite points. When a girl is like you know, bad at like talking to guys, it's kind of like attractive. When a girl has no experience before you,
I want an awkward girl,
it's so attractive. Like there was a girl I was speaking to years ago, and I sent an Uber to pick her up. And she went, wow, an Uber. I've never been in an Uber before. And it's like, you know, some sweaty brown guy or something driving the car. But the way she said that, I was like, that's so attractive. Girls aren't attracted to the male equivalent of that. Girls aren't attracted to an inexperienced guy. Because that's literally in defiance of what masculinity is supposed to be about. But femininity is supposed to be pure. Masculinity is supposed to have those scars. It's not attractive. People on the internet, like maybe if you've got some pussies in your audience, they'll complain and say like, no, actually I like a girl who's experienced too. They're just fucked in the head. It's as simple as that. And if you've got a girl who's watching this, she'll agree with it and say like, no, like I want a guy, you know, I'm a virgin, I want a guy who's a virgin. You think you do because it sounds like a great moral argument. But equality in relationships is fucking bullshit. Like double standards is inherently normal in a relationship. I'm attracted to blonde girls. Does that mean I have to be blonde? No, that's fucking retarded. But then that's a double standard, apparently.
Well, so I'll just say, like, from my own experience, I subscribe to that mindset myself, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna like, you know, straight and narrow. I'm gonna wait for my wife to come into my life, da da da. And it's like, yeah, I got into my last relationship. I had some experience, to be fair, but very, very little, you know. Yeah. And man, I can't even tell you guys how much I fucked that relationship up.
Imagine if you were in a relationship now with this much experience, you would have navigated it so
100%. If I met the same girl, but now totally different, I build the relationship completely differently foundationally, it would be a completely different story, you know. But you only get that through the experience.
100%. But people on the internet will think that it's supposed to be this equal thing where both man and woman are inexperienced. And it's on the internet and with conversations, it sounds like that's like, you know, it makes sense. Oh yeah, we're both the same, whatever.
It sounds nice and romantic and like, oh yeah, like two people together, like just kind of like,
you know, we'll grow with each other, we'll learn. No. As a man, you're supposed to grow without her first. Yeah. And then she's supposed to grow with you. They're like, one of the tips I would give to a guy, other than, you know, some of the basic things like, go to the gym and, you know, like be confident, whatever, is like understand the double standards is what makes a relationship healthy. And it's your own psychology where you think the double standards are wrong that's what's showing you're like a liberal little weirdo who thinks like, oh yeah, men and women are the same and stuff. It's like, are you absolutely fucking retarded?
Yeah, like it's not even their fault. It's just like it's drilled into your skull as a man, especially in Western society. But like if you start living,
how much has that helped you? Right. This is why they have to be insane, because what they've learned from everyone other than like, you know, the small base type of guys has not worked in the slightest. So if they're still holding on to that kind of belief, you'd have to question their sanity, because it's like, well, it hasn't. No, you got ash in my coffee, bro.
Sorry, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You're welcome, man. Bit of extra flavor, bro. No, but like, bro, no, of course, it's like it's a horrible way of thinking, because that's what leads to like, you know, what the relationship 99% of people have is like,
disgusting.
She's fucking, you're not fucking. It's like super depolarized. You low key kind of resent each other. You spend it all day together.
And then these people will argue as well. When I talk about relationships, people will say like, oh, like Hamza, that's weird and stuff. I'm like, bro, like nobody wants your relationship. What the fuck you on about? When did I ask for like, you know, some random dork will comment or they'll reply, and I'm like, but who said I would want to switch lives with you? The problem with relationship advice is like the guy who's in a pretty moderately okay relationship, or he's probably not even happy, but he'll comment and say, oh, you're wrong, I've been with my missus for like 4 years, and the way you've said it is like, yeah, bro, you fuck like there's no arguing with these fucking peasants, bro.
But that's the problem as well, because I think most people have shitty relationships. Yeah. So when I was really struggling in my last relationship, it was one of the loneliest periods of my life, because I was trying to have like a really healthy relationship with a really good girl. I felt like I had no one to really speak to, because guys in my position right now, they're just like, I'm not doing relationships right now, I'm just fucking around, So I'd speak to those guys, I'd get really misaligned advice. And then I'd also speak to other guys who are in relationships, but are just like, it's not an enviable position to be in, quite frankly. I'm not thinking that, oh, I really wish I was in that relationship. So it's like, I just didn't have a fucking clue. You can't go on Reddit.
There's no
you can't go on ChatGPT.
They're all
99% advice, bro.
They're all just fucking little peasants, bro. Like, for example, I gave this advice once where I was like, okay, I think if I get into a relationship again, we'll have 2 separate houses. And I swear to God, like 4 or 5 creators made videos about me saying like, oh, that's crazy, that's absurd.
I will never live with a woman ever again.
But you've got to think, people who would watch this, right? Some people watch it, they're true fans, they understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Most people just in general are just stuck in peasant mindset. So when you say something like, oh yeah, you should have 2 separate houses, their brain can't conceive that. They can't even afford 1 house right now. They can't conceive like,
and it's also just like, I want to be with my girl and all the time and like just spend all the
gay.
I turn into such a pussy. Like, even if I go into it consciously thinking like, you know, I'm gonna be the man, I'm gonna get up at this, like it never just.
You're the average of the 5 people you spend time with. Why would I want to be more like a girl?
Bro,
it's like, yeah, she's my romantic partner, sure. Why am I gonna the priority of our relationship is the romance? Why am I gonna dull the romance by starting to like become her gay little friend? Like people say it as like a flex of like, oh yeah, like
my best friend.
Yeah, it's
gay. It's a gay fucking thing of all time.
You're so
they're
gay.
Posting each other on Instagram.
Bro, even homosexuals are less gay than that.
I'd rather suck a dick, dude, quite frankly.
Honestly,
I think sucking dick is less gay
than being best friend. Yeah, she's like my best friend. It's like, bro, okay, basically, I can break down their entire life, and you can just imagine what their life is like limp dick, having sex every 2-3 days instead of like fucking 4 times a day,
like 2 times a week.
When he goes for a run, he's like, oh man, gotta get fit again.
Bro,
his wife is like puts in more effort to get ready and go out with her girls, like, you know, for some family like birthday or some shit than she does for him. And then he'll make that same fucking guy will make like a react video about me saying like, oh no, bro,
and then he goes to bed at night and is like trying to escalate on his girl, and
like, oh, I'm too tired.
I'm a bit tired.
Yeah, Tyrone's worn her out, bro.
Bro, I don't envy it, man. And like, I've been there as well. I've been in that depolarized relationship. I'll never allow that to happen again. And that's what I mean. Like, you learn through experience.
It's low standards, bro. That's the height of most people's goal, which is like, oh yeah, I want.
No, but like when I was in that position, I was fucking schizo. I was miserable.
No, but still, this is what I mean, right? So that's most people's ambition.
Yeah.
Is I want a relationship that's like, oh yeah, we're like friends and stuff.
I could never.
Again, it's like. It's just a low level of ambition. I want a relationship, sure, but I want it to be extremely romantic, polarizing, compatible. I don't want to have the pains of most people's relationship, which is like they lose the romance, they end up cheating on each other. They're just weird, like depolarized friends.
They resent
now.
each other, bro.
Yeah,
I see that so often in these relationships. The woman, high key, just resents the dude because he's not the man.
Yeah.
He's not the fucking man anymore. He doesn't walk into the room with a sense of aura. There's nothing there. He's just a sack of spuds, bro. It's nothing. All of his masculine essence is just through a thousand cuts, just bled dry, bro. Miserable, bro. Terrible.
If you could go back in time, meet your ex again, but like right now, with your knowledge right now, what would you have changed? Let's talk specific tactics, right?
I would never, ever, ever move in with her.
Yeah. She was in the UK, you were in Thailand.
Yeah.
Would you fly her over to Thailand?
Yeah, but I'd have her in a separate place.
Yeah, that's what I would have said.
Probably like 40 minutes away.
Yeah. What else? I think...
I want to be careful because I'm still unpacking a lot of this shit, even nearly a year later, and I don't want to disrespect her either.
I was just going to say, to be honest, that's probably just the 80-20. You could even just make that one change.
Bro, I swear to God, straight
that's
up.
the big domino. All the other dominoes of like, okay, you keep the passion high, whatever, it would have automatically solved
it. Yeah, but also, like, when I met her, I was just a boy, bro. So, like, foundationally, the relationship was, like, built upon this, like, I'm a boy, So there's so many small things. But I'm not entirely sure I want to talk about it yet. Obviously, I have so much shit to say. You've heard me say a lot of shit in private conversations. I've been quite careful to, like, obviously I skin myself alive usually on camera for YouTube for the sake of, like, sharing my learning lessons. But with this, honestly, it was such a painful experience for me. And also, I want to be careful in respecting her and stuff like that. So it's something that I've just really not touched. I want to heal fully from that, detach my ego from it entirely, which I think I've done, to be honest, but I'm giving it some more time to sort of cook,
Yeah, because
then I'll be comfortable.
It's not been so long for you.
It.
It's only been about 8 months, 9 months.
Yeah, like nearly a year,
Yeah, mine's been like, I split up with my ex like start of last year. So it's been like 1 year, 8 months now. And I've done a lot of reflection on it. Lots of reflection. I see the sort of glory period of my relationship, the one I posted about a lot, online a lot, was in 2023 when, we moved to Dubai, then Thailand, then I moved back home. And there was this natural, healthy distance between us where I lived at home, she lived in her home. And then she would make this huge effort to drive like 4 hours to come, because she lived near London. I live like northwest, which is fucking huge. Like 4 hours for a lot of people, it's not so much because they live in like America, whatever. In the UK, that's huge. Like in the UK, a 30-minute drive is like a pretty big deal, basically. So she'd drive on like a Saturday, get there for like 2 p.m. She'd bake me things and everything, make me food, whatever, come in. My family really loved her. It was extremely like, presence, flow state, passionate, so much fun. We were like, that's probably the only time in my life where the way she would laugh used to make me feel like that's how she's my wife. Like if I showed you a few clips on my phone where, we're just being silly and I've said something a bit silly, and the way she laughs and she goes, Hamza, it's like, we sounded like a married couple, but in like, such feels, a, you know what I mean, in a sweet way. That was, I think, so healthy. For me, what I realized was, that was amazing. It was healthy, and we were getting better every week, because I bought her this course on like how to be more feminine and whatever by David Data. So she was learning from that as well. She was stepping into the feminine role, and I was doing the same thing.
You're leading.
But then you naturally just like, you almost kind of forget, oh yeah, distance is a big thing, because your girl especially is going to message you saying, oh, I'm so sad. I want to spend more time with you. I don't really like being at home by myself. I want to come be with you. And then we moved in together again, like a Airbnb, 2-3 months, whatever. And the first few weeks, I remember we moved to Scotland. The first few weeks was probably one of the happiest periods of my life, where it was like, oh, me and my wife living with each other. It was so funny. It was leading up to Christmas, because, she didn't work a job, I was working. She spent like weeks preparing for the Christmas. If you saw the pictures of the place we were staying in, bro, it was entirely more decorations I've ever had before for any kind of celebration, which is so sweet, because she's doing that for our special day, right?
Yeah.
And sharply after Christmas, it went from like the best period we had together to like sharply really fucking shit. But now it's been a month. We've been living in the middle of nowhere. The gym's 50-minute drive away. We start missing sessions. Both of us are losing a bit of self-esteem because, for example, I've not been for a haircut in weeks. She gained a little bit of weight. I did as well, you know, because we're not training and whatever. You're not living in that sort of fast-paced city kind of life, which we used to say was a good thing because, you know, cities are kind of unhealthy for you because of pollution, whatever. And then very sharply, the relationship started getting like really like limp dick for me, very sharply. I still remember, I won't even tell the story, actually, it's too like private, but like there was a certain moment where I just realized I felt like I was like broken. I wasn't even a man anymore. I was like some weird limp dick, castrated, like, you know, like the middle-aged, it always reminds me, there's this one guy who's like middle-aged and I think he's married and he always makes videos about me. I felt kind of like how I imagine he does. Like he watches everything I do and then he talks about me on YouTube, right? It's like a middle-aged guy he looks like he's sleep deprived, sits in like a shit car and then talks about me. And I felt like him one day where I was like, oh yeah, you know, gotta get fit again, whatever. And I was like, me, like Hamza, I've just said the words, I need to get fit again. I got fucking millions of guys to go to the gym and I've just said the words, I need to get fit again. I need to like, you know, fix my life or something. I was like, that's what the fuck happened to you? And then for the first time in about a year, I started to be selfish again. And I think that was such a good thing I did because I was like, wait, stop seeing yourself as a couple. What would you want to do? And it was completely different to the sort of life that she wanted to live. And so when I made the move, I moved back home and I was like, wait, I'm going to start living this sort of young man's kind of lifestyle. She didn't want to live, you know, like the sort of young people's kind of life. And she kind of accepted it. And she was like, oh no, but you know, we'll stay together. We can still move to like the city or something. But I just couldn't see myself figuring out the way to like have the relationship and not get into that same like castrated kind of energy. I realize now the big domino is living separately. There was, of course, like many other things in the relationship as well. And, you know, if you realize a girl's like not your actual like, you know, long-term wife because there's something, you know, that you can't like, sort of look past, then that's definitely going to help undermine the relationship. But when I moved back, this is absolutely no offense to her, but the phrase that I used for myself that I'd say is, I left that sort of cabin we were staying in, moved back home, split up with her, and I quite literally felt like the sort of physical feeling of having like a tumor removed. I was like, oh man, I'm alive again. This is me. Like I'm an individual. I'm a person again. And when you live with someone, you kind of lose that sense of separation. You lose that sense of of individuality. And I think from my experience, that's why a lot of relationships go to shit, because you're not a person anymore. You're like a couple. And that makes you just kind of so routine. Your partner is almost like part of this, like, you know, the furniture, they're just kind of there. Yeah. It's not special to see them anymore. Oh,
so real, bro. So real. I remember when I broke up with my ex, like, I loved her so much. I loved her so much, bro. But I had this moment of realization. Actually, after a bit of separation, like we were living together, I actually went to Bangkok and I left her where she was in Koh Samui. After a few days, like I got there and I was like, I felt this fucking release. I was like, oh my God, I finally feel like myself. I hadn't slept for 9 months without getting into bed and thinking about my own death in a dreadful way. Like if I was to die now, I'd go to hell because there's something not right, something's misaligned. And I had two theories. One, like I should see my family more. Two, this shit ain't right, you know. I got to Bangkok, I felt this fucking release. I felt like I could fucking sleep. Literally just like that, gone. And I was like, I know what it is now. The moment I broke up with her, it felt like, oh man, it felt like a fucking shotgun blast to my chest. Genuinely, it was the hardest thing I've ever done because I loved her so fucking much, but I fucking cooked the relationship to a point of absolutely no return. And I knew if I continued, I fought for 9 months trying to figure it out. 9 months, just hell, pure hell. I knew if I continued, I would go to fucking hell, bro. So I fucking broke up with her, and it genuinely, it's like someone literally put a fucking shotgun to my chest and just pulled the trigger. I was a fucking mess. I remember I was in my condo in Bangkok, on my fucking knees, just weeping, crying to God, oh my fucking God, Jesus Christ, like thinking of fucking jumping off the balcony, all sorts. And I called my friend Yanis, just in absolute fucking hysterics. It's like, what the fuck, bro? I'm on my way round. Genuinely just like the most fucking painful fucking experience of my life. But it was such a weird juxtaposition, because while it was so fucking painful, because I genuinely bared my heart and soul to this girl, there was also a fucking release. Like you said, like a tumor had been removed. Not that she's the tumor, but the relationship was just so not working. Like, and it's completely and utterly my fault. Take 100% accountability for it.
Yeah.
But oh my God, bro, it was just the roughest, like a release, but also like, Jesus, man, like, I didn't know for a while, like afterwards, if I'd done the right thing as well. It kind of sent me a bit fucking bonkers for a few months. And I just behaved like a psycho, like a crazy person, you know. I'm pretty fucked up with shit like that. So like, I fall back on like a few vices. Like I started doing some fucking drugs, going out, banging a bunch of fucking broken people, because I was broken, so that's what I got. You know, I attracted that. Fucked up, man. You know. Fucked
Yeah, it's
up.
so interesting, because it's not even about the girl.
Nah, like I say, bro, I honestly think like you'll meet a woman numerous times in your life who is potentially your wife. The question is, are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Are you fucking ready for it? And that experience now, I'm so much closer to being ready for it. But only after that experience, which is why if you're a fucking virgin and you're saying like, oh, don't talk to women, you're a dickhead. Don't subscribe to that bullshit ideology. Don't subscribe to that like ego posturing, oh, I'm too busy. Bro, you are robbing yourself of so much experience towards becoming like a total man of a masculine excellence. You don't want to be the guy who's made a bunch of money but doesn't have a fucking clue how to carry a relationship.
Yeah.
You really don't. Yeah. I'm glad that happened then, when I'm still young, rather than in 10 years' time when I've already got kids and it's all fucked up.
Yeah, like most couples are.
Yeah.
Because I think what's been tough for me is, especially when, you know, because I get a lot of people who talk about me and they kind of judge the way that I'm living my life, and you get a lot of supporters, but your brain kind of focuses on the negative. And my life for the last few years especially has been very unconventional. So if I have these beliefs very similar to you, like for example, I don't think I'll live with a girl again. I'll probably give it a try at some points, but I don't think I just don't even think it's right. I think morally
I will never
so
do it
wrong.
again.
The problem is, like, the conventional advice is, no, that's fucking weird. That's what you do. You meet, and then eventually, you know, you get to share on rent and whatever. You live together. If you've got kids, you've got to be there 24/7.
Build a home together. Stay in the same dwelling the whole time.
Because that's what's normal, right? Because most middle-aged men are peasants, right? Just by statistics, most middle-aged guys,
I just don't think they know better, bro.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But like, when you have the peasant mind, when you're poor, you can't imagine the alternative to like having one home where you live together and you go to sleep in the same bed. You can't even imagine it, because there's no alternative. It's just, yeah, you've got to save money on rent, so both of you live together to make it cheaper, whatever. And if you stay as a peasant forever, then yeah, sure, you basically have to subscribe for that. You can't afford two places, whatever. But when you can, it's like, bro, when you've got money as well, and also experience, now the rules are basically just meant, like, they're not rules, they're just fucking conventional advice from people who are usually miserable anyway. So now it's like you get to construct your relationship in the dynamic that you want, which of course will trigger a lot of people who are very hard set already in the relationships, or you know, they're sort of bound to be in one. So I've had such massive backlash from talking about my ideas when it comes to relationships, like not living together. And it takes like quite a lot of like stoicism and, you know, like certainty in yourself to think, yeah, but the people who are disagreeing with me statistically are likely to be miserable in their relationships. So why am I going to listen to someone who seems like he's unhappy just because he's parroting the same shit he's always heard? And, you know, no one has told these guys the alternative kind of dynamics you can have in relationships.
Do you think that's really controversial, though, to say that you shouldn't live with a girl?
When I said it, it was crazy, bro. I remember the next two, 3 days.
When was that?
It was like, so it was probably in 2024. I got quite a lot of hate, and I think this was one of it.
I don't think that's controversial at all, man.
Yeah, it's because it triggers people who are living together. Oh no, they're like best friends, and I love my girl. I know what, two houses, like
2 years with my bestie.
No, most people can't afford one house, right? So imagine you've got this fucking 28-year-old millionaire who's saying, "Oh yeah, I'll get a separate house for my wife, like next to mine, in the fucking compound where I own the fucking land or something."
I think a solid 30-minute distance. Honestly, I don't think I think there should be a fucking barrier of entry to seeing each other. You know. I really do. I think there should be some fucking effort involved in seeing each other.
The landscape we're trying to navigate's not been done, because if you want the standard relationship where you live with your wife and then you get depolarized and you become roommates, that's that's been done lots of times, right? So it's like you can get advice from like, you know, you're like your parents or your uncle who hasn't had a blowjob in 2 years. You can get advice from them. Sure, that's like, yeah, go ahead. But that's such low ROI. I think that's such a low level of ambition to be in like a normal, like sort of traditional relationship.
That's not an option for me. No way.
It just sounds gay as fuck, bro.
I've proven to myself that would never happen for me, because in my last relationship, even though I loved her so much, I fucking broke it off.
Yeah, it's so shit to have in that.
So that's not an option.
With my relationship,
I'm gonna pursue like a healthy relationship where it's not depolarized.
Yeah.
With one girl.
Do you ever fantasize? You know, when you hear about something like Genghis Khan, thousands and thousands of children. Do you ever kind of like, I don't know, you hear stories like that and you almost like feel like, oh, what a fucking legend. Like, do you? Because I don't know if it's just me, but I think that's fucking, that's sick. That's like masculinity, and it's at its most like primal just like fucked up level. Yeah. And all the fucking guys who fucking read philosophy books will be like talking shit about it, like, but actually Carl Jung says, just shut up, you fucking skinny neck little greasy haired dog.
I mean, he went around pillaging and
that's raping. Fucking cool, bro. Absolute legend, bro.
It's the masculine need to conquest, you know, the masculine need to conquest, but like we have different means laws of conquesting now. Laws.
But it's so, bro, it's like the modern world is so shit, bro. Like imagine 1,000 years ago, okay, grab your axe, let's go pillage the fucking villages, done. Take this man's wife, chop his head off,
bro,
take his children as slaves.
We used to go to war with the government for taxing us 1%.
Yeah, I know. The modern man is
we'd grab our swords.
You're so psyop to think that like, oh, well, I couldn't imagine having more than one woman and shit. They used to be like that, and now our modern conquest is like getting followers on fucking Instagram. Oh yeah.
Capitalism.
No wonder we wanted to kill ourselves, bro. That's whack.
In terms of Genghis Khan, I think it's pretty low vibrational stuff from Genghis Khan there. He probably struggled to sleep at night a little bit. I bet he slept
so soundly, bro. You're trying to like psychoanalyze him, bro. You're trying to guess his attachment style.
It was a very different time, I'll say that much. But yeah, I don't know. You choose your conquest. He definitely chose his. He chose his at a global scale.
Is that weird that I like?
It's not weird. I mean, we're men. We like conquest.
I think if you've got balls, if you're not a little fucking pussy, you can see what I mean about saying like.
I do see what you mean.
There's something about that, right? Of course, you're not going to go out and hurt people and stuff, but like, there's something about that which is it triggers something very primal inside of me, I've always just had like a good awareness for my own sort of self and my desires. I think most guys haven't. Most guys haven't integrated their shadow. What's interesting is all the guys who talk to me about like intellectual Jung and philosophy, I've made more progress in that in actual fact than they have, and they've read all the geeky little dorky books and shit like that. Like what some of Jung's philosophy was about integrating the shadow and realizing the dark part of yourself. And I've done that way faster than any of these fucking dorks have, but they'll comment and tell me like, oh, Hamza, actually, and it's like, no, like, this is the problem of like being a little textbook intellectual little fucking dork, instead of actually like taking action and doing the thing. That's why I think whenever I kind of think about, you know, I hear things about history, there's just something that I can kind of sit there. I can openly admit this, right? Most guys are too afraid, but I can see like, oh, like I can see why they did that. I can see the appeal to that. There'll be some dork who hasn't integrated his shadow part thinking, no, that's wrong or whatever. Like there was this story, I think it's called like the Rape of Babylon. Have you ever heard that?
Maybe.
So I might kind of tell it wrong, but basically this group of guys, like this kind of tribe of guys, splits apart from the big city of like Rome or something, and they become like roaming barbarians. They make their own tribe, but then there's a problem, it's all men. So then they have this real primal problem of like, oh yeah, our tribe is literally going to go extinct unless if we get women. So then they go and they give marriage proposals to all the nearby tribes. And all of the nearby tribes, they reject it because these are just a bunch of like low-tier barbarians. So then they make this big feast and they invite everyone over for a party. And they capture all the women and they rape them all. And then they have children, and that's basically how like they were able to survive. I remember reading this in the book Hard Times Create Strong Men. And it was like, there was something about it. I remember reading it and I was like, oh, like that, like, this is how and why like men used to rape. And there's something interesting about that, right? I'm sure people will think that this is weird. And again, I think it's the guys who would judge me for, you know, just hearing about this and finding it interesting. I'd be watching out for those guys, the ones who are like, what, you can't talk about this, you can't show any kind of interest in this kind of stuff. That's the fucking weird like type of guy, you know, the type of one who doesn't understand that, yeah, of course there's like a primal interest in like, oh, that's like, it's so interesting. They weaponized to keep their fucking tribe alive because they needed children, otherwise the tribe goes. No,
so you could look at like anything in history and find it innately and interesting because like there's always reasons behind it.
It's just interesting because it's like our society is not like that at all. And let's say the guys who do abuse and women, it's not really to, you know, as a means to have children, but rather just some fucking freak trying to get some pleasure or some shit. But it was interesting because that was the first time I ever thought like, oh yeah, like men would have raped women because they needed a baby, because they cared a lot about furthering their bloodlines.
Survival.
Men don't really give a shit about that anymore. The men don't really care about like, my bloodline has to continue. Like, imagine how weird that is, that you're a living creature that isn't actually preoccupied with like furthering your, like with reproduction.
And it's like, there is not a species on Earth.
It's a flex for all these dorks. It's such a flex to say like, oh yeah, I basically don't care about reproduction. They say it as if it's a flex. I see that as like, that's probably one of the most severe mental illnesses you could have, is saying, I don't care about reproduction, I don't care about girls. That's it, bro. I think that's severe mental illness. Like you said, every species alive, that it's the mission is reproduction. Survival first, reproduction later. But I think the modern world has kept people in like a state of survival. They're constantly triggered, they're constantly anxious, the gut's all fucked up, mental health's fucked up.
Like, I won't bring kids into the world because I'm too fucking busy worrying about like getting my fucking money up, you know, or whatever. Like,
yeah, and then it's like poor people have tons of kids. So what the fuck are you?
Yeah, no, it's just a fucking psyop, bro. It is a psyop.
Why haven't you got kids right now?
Well, bro, I've been saying it to you, but like I'm pretty fucking ready to have kids. To be honest, I wouldn't be upset if I met like a really good girl and I got her pregnant. You know, I really wouldn't be upset at all. Of course, there's. It's kind of like a responsibility thing because, of course, I mentioned my last relationship didn't go very well. But if you had asked me at a certain point in time, like, you know, oh, Sam, how's it going? Is this your wife? I'd be like, yes, absolutely, it's my wife. It wasn't my wife. You know, so I was fucking wrong.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of risks involved in that in terms of the modern world. You know, you give your children to the wrong girl, it can fuck up your life, you know. That's just a fucking fact.
Only if you're poor.
No. Well, okay, so you love your kid and then she takes your kid away. That's very painful.
Oh yeah, sure, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be a bit more unemotional about it and think like, okay, well, numbers game. But I don't
Yeah, that's
think,
not for me. I really thought about this once. I was like, what if I got like a bunch of girls pregnant, you know, for this idea of like, oh, but I've got kids, right? And then I thought, okay, but without my influence, chances are my kids would be fucking pussies.
Yeah, they're going to be retarded.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who grew up in a household without a dad, I know firsthand how horrendously detrimental that is and how 100%. Much it sets you back.
Yeah.
You know?
I was dating a girl and then she we were talking about it, to be fair, but she said like, oh yeah, like I would, if I was like a single mother, I'd be fine. I honestly. We were taking a bath at the time, and I literally I just basically ended with her and kicked her out after that. I was like, she was meant to sleep over here as well, and I just kicked her out. I was like, what a disgusting thing to say.
Let's talk about Wizard Liz.
What a disgusting.
Wizard Liz got cheated on a month or so ago.
Yeah.
And this is the woman, the go-to woman, which young women are looking up to as a role model. And she's telling them, go to Dubai, be a sugar mommy, get your money up, girly.
Yeah,
before getting a man.
She was a prostitute.
She was a fucking sugar mommy in Dubai. She was a prostitute, yeah.
So
and when this dude cheated on her?
Influencer is prostitute. Like, what fucking world we live in.
That's fucked.
One of the most, like, influential women of, like, sort of female dating was a prostitute. Like, she got paid to have sex with random guys in Dubai.
If your girl follows Wizard Liz, it is your responsibility as her man to guide her away from that shit. Unfollow Wizard Liz is fucking garbage. She got cheated on, and then she put up a story like, oh, well, I never really feared being a single mom anyway. I swear to God, bro, like, that triggered me. Like, it's hard to trigger me, bro. It's so hard. I'm very stoked with shit, but like, I read that, I was like, that is so triggering for me, because it's like, again, as a young man who got brought up in a single parent household, I know that is genuinely the worst fucking scenario you can put your kids in. The worst scenario, single parent family. Yeah. It's fucking, so for a woman to say, I've never feared being a single mom, it's probably cope anyway. It's probably cope, let's be honest. Yeah. But to say that as a female influencer with millions of followers, you are so beyond cooked, it's unreal. It's garbage, bro. Absolute fucking garbage. Of course, the dude cheating, that's also garbage, especially how he did it. He went behind her back, he was on Snapchat, whatever. Super gay, super retarded. But what do you expect when you date a woman who used to be a former fucking Dubai sugar mommy?
I was literally in the bath with the girl that I was seeing, and she said the same thing. She it wasn't really random because we were on the topic of like having children and stuff. And she said like, oh yeah, you know, if you weren't going to be there, I'd be fine as a single mother. And I said to her like, that's so weird and rude and disrespectful that you just said that to me. That you don't see the value of like what a strong man would bring in this kind of relationship. And I went on this massive rant where I said to her, like, imagine all the attacks that are happening to the family and to children. You would not save your family. You don't know any other person you've ever met in your life, including your father, including your mother, including your friends, family, everything, who would defend your children from the attack like I would. If the children's teachers call you and say, oh, well, yeah, you know, your son wants to turn into a girl and I think you should let him, you'd crumble after a while. I wouldn't. I would be the only person in your fucking life who would be willing to stand in front of everyone, the government, the teachers, parents, family, movies, like Hollywood movies, TikTok, all of the attacks that people are putting onto children. I would be the only man you've ever met, like the strong man would stand in front of all those attacks and protect you and the children. You do not know a single other person who could do that. These women, they have forgotten or have never even realized the value that like a strong man brings to the family. They believe that they can be single mothers and everything's going to be good because they're all selfishly just thinking about themselves. They think about, oh, well, I could handle it. What they don't realize is it's not about you, it's about the children. And it's only the strong men who have the courage and the bravery and the stoicism to stand in front of all of the shit that's happening to children in the modern day. And I was shouting, I was like, literally, I was getting like so into such a rant that I literally was weirdly thinking like, I wish it was being recorded. Because I was making such a good point. Imagine I'm like staring at her saying like, you don't fucking understand how much shit is happening to families right now. Imagine your kid goes to school and they feel left out and awkward because they don't know the latest TikTok dance. They're gonna fucking learn it. They're gonna start like having sex when they're 13 years old because it's kind of cool. Yeah, and they're gonna come over to, they're gonna come up to you and beg you for a phone, and you'd eventually you would crumble. It is only the father, the strong man of that household, who would step in front of that and say, no, absolutely no phone for my fucking child. No TikTok, no random social media, no degenerate music, none of this like promiscuous behavior that's happening to children. Like, you know, your teachers would from the school would come and say like, oh yeah, but they want to switch genders. The doctor would say, oh yeah, let's give them puberty blockers. The entire world is trying to fuck up your children. And I said to her, like, you would not stop them. Your father would not stop them. Your mother, your junky little brother who smokes weed, no one in your fucking life would stop them other than me, like a strong man. I'm the type of guy, and strong men in general, where we'd literally like stand up against everyone else, up against the fucking subversion from different countries that's like destroying especially like the European culture these days. It's only the strong man who'd stand in front of his family and say, fuck you. You're not fucking taking my son, giving him puberty blockers and turning him into a fucking girl. You're not taking my girl and turning her into a fucking whore when she's 14 years old and saying that, oh, but it's okay for her to go out to some parties and suck only a little bit of cock every now and then. It's only the father who will stop that. The mother, after a certain amount of psyoping, after a certain amount of pressure from the movies and her friends and the family and the teachers and all this, like, you know, the government shit, it's the mother, she'll start to like, oh yeah, sure, okay, fine, yeah, I don't want to stand out. It's the strong father who'll step in front of his family and say, fuck you, you're gonna try and fucking inject my children with some weird fucking substance that some company's profiting from. He's gonna say fuck you to everyone, and then he's gonna be the one who takes the hate. The woman would crumble. The women will always crumble when this happens. It's the strong man who'd protect his family against everything else. And so how a woman thinks that she can be like a single mother, it's because they have this like selfishness where they only think, oh yeah, well, I could survive as a single mother, but they don't see the impact that it would have on their children. They don't see 90% of children and teenagers who run away from the home, single mother households. 90% of teenage suicides, single mother households. Underage sex, underage pregnancies, single mother households. This isn't to disrespect women and say they can't raise children. It's to start respecting the strong man and to start giving the strong man the testimonial that he needed this entire time. The strong men of society have been so hated on the last like 50 years, joked about and you know, made fun of. And it's only now the women with developed prefrontal cortexes are thinking like, yeah, like that sounds fucking awesome. I'd love to have a guy who's strong and who would provide and look after my family, because these days there's so much bullshit that's happening towards families that it's only going to be that strong guy who defends them. Imagine being a woman and like your teachers insisting that you're, oh yeah, just give him the puberty block. You know, even the doctors telling, yeah, it's going to be healthy and stuff. The woman would crumble. I said to her, I'm the only man you've ever met in your life and you'll ever meet who I would stand in front of everyone and say fuck you to them all and keep the family safe and healthy. And I've proven myself, because I'll do this on the internet with millions of people who already watch me. I've proven that I can be that type of guy. And if you don't see the value in that, it's like, it's not even disrespectful for me. It's just stupidity.
It's disgusting, bro. It's disgusting.
So immature for women to think, oh, it's not going to make a difference if the guy's not here. Yeah, it'd be nice, but I'd survive. It'd be fine. Men are so undervalued. Like strong men are so undervalued, and it's so nice to see more and more women who are maturing and realizing that this like man hate that they've been going through is complete and utter bullshit, and it's a road to like depression. It's a road to your son turning into a fucking girl, and the doctors are forcing you to like let him get the surgery or some shit. It's only going to be the strong, you know, like the fucking strong masculine guy who'd look at the doctor and be like, fuck you. What the fuck is wrong with you? He'd read some of the research on like vaccinations and stuff, be like, fuck you. We're not fucking taking this shit. The woman would crumble. That's the problem. They will, if they don't have like a strong masculine role model. After enough pressure from society, even their family as well. I think your woman's family, they'll be telling her like, "Oh, you haven't taken your 7th booster jab. Come on, let's do it. Oh, you haven't signed up for the central currency or the digital IDs. Come on, let's do it. You'll get into trouble if you don't." It's going to be the strong guy who tells her, "No, listen. You leave it with me. It's okay. I know people are pressuring you. You tell them that I said you're not allowed to get it. You blame it all on me." It's the strong man who'd literally say that to his wife, like if her family's texting her saying like, "Come on, get the 7th booster jab," you know.
Do you remember the amount of pressure they were putting on people to get the fucking jab? Like I was literally getting texts on my phone like 4 times a week, like, "Oh,
make sure you get it and stuff."
Crazy.
Yeah. And imagine if you had a strong like father figure, strong man of the household there.
Yeah.
And he said, no, don't worry about it. I've done enough research. I don't think it's a good idea. Yeah. You get pressured from society, you get pressured on social media, you get pressured from everyone, all the stores. Imagine like, you know, your extended family are all shouting at you like, "Why haven't you gotten it?" And you have the strong father figure who says, no, just blame it all on me. I don't think this is a good idea. You know, that women who don't see the value of that.
They're so cooked, bro.
It's disgusting.
They're so cooked. And I hate how women like the Wizard Liz are in a position of authority for so many young women, because it's just like, she doesn't have a fucking clue. Yeah. She does not have a fucking clue.
I'm saddened that that's a role model these days.
Yeah.
A woman who, she has a lot of hatred towards men. She has a very dark heart. Like there was another Instagram story someone like reacted to, and they were saying like, I know it was her story, and she wrote like, "Men are like pointless. My soulmate is money." And she wrote it in like a massive paragraphs, like actually saying like, "Yeah, I've always known I have this special love and romance with money." It's like, "Yeah, I don't believe in soulmate being like a man. It's just about money." I'm like, that. How
sad, man.
That's the one of the biggest female role models, like female dating coaches these days.
Wizard Liz, but that was Wizard Liz.
Yeah. If I read it to you, like I forgot the exact wording, but she was actually being serious. She wasn't saying it as like, you know, some funny little phrase. She was like, "Oh, I've always known that like money was my soulmate and not a man." And little girls will be reading that thinking like, "Oh yeah, gotta lock in, gotta get my money up because, you know, it's only me and men are useless and men should just give me money."
Doing whatever it takes, even if it means moving to Dubai and getting fucked.
Yeah, getting paid for sex. What does that make you? I was pissed, bro. You know that story I just told you, that rant I went on? I was literally in the bath with this girl. We were having like it's the first time I've taken a bath in ages.
You threw the rubber ducky out.
Yeah, I've got like a little toy dog and everything. Had some snacks there. It started off proper romantic. It was sweet, candles, music and everything. And we actually, because I've seen her for a while, so we started talking about like, you know, like some deeper things, and we spoke about children and stuff. And when she said that, I literally said to her, "That's so disrespectful. How can you say that to the guy you're with, saying like, oh yeah, well, you know, if you left, like I'd be fine as a single mother. I know I'd do fine."
I actually had that before. You've just reminded me. I've actually had that before. Not even that long ago. I was talking to a girl like 6 months or so ago, like trying to kind of figure out where I'm at with her. And as soon as she literally said to me like, "Oh yeah, I would like wouldn't mind being a single parent. Like I'll just take the kids and stuff." Because we were talking about Elon Musk and his relationship dynamic. She was like, "Oh well, yeah, if I was like Elon's wife or whatever, I'd just like be totally fine being single and just taking the kids away." I was just like, "Okay, cool." And I think a few days later, I never spoke to her again. It's garbage, bro. I remember like how it made me feel when she said it to me, and I was like, I had this visceral feeling of like total shock.
Yeah.
And it didn't really register with me until a few days later, and I was like, "Oh wait, this is actually garbage. Yeah. This is fucking, what am I doing here? This is not my wife. Holy smokes, this is not my wife. I'm out, dude."
And the girls who believe, and they say this to themselves, like, "Oh, I'd be fine as a single mother," they're the ones who end up like that. Because when you have this belief as a woman, okay, you think, "Oh, I'd be fine as a single mother," then you won't behave and you won't commit as much in the relationship.
Yeah, you won't sacrifice as much because you've got a way out, right? It's a plan B.
Oh, I'll be fine.
It's like an entrepreneur like saying, oh yeah, I'll do copywriting or whatever, but if it doesn't work out, then I'll just go to school. They never work out.
Yeah.
They never. It's all in, man. It's ride or die. I want to ride or die, and that's
this is the problem with like relationships, and especially with marriage these days, is from what I heard, like 50 years ago, 100 years ago, you didn't really have a plan B. It was like, no, we've just got to make it work because our families bonded together. It'd be fucking, like you can't split up.
You try to split up, your families would fucking
they'd fucking beat your ass.
Yeah, they'd beat your ass, dude.
Yeah, you get fucking stoned. Do you know what I mean? The good old days.
Good old days.
But now it's like, imagine, okay, you've been having like some arguments with your woman, and she texts her family, her friends, and everyone's telling her, oh, just leave. You can, we'll help you. You can look after the kid by yourself. Imagine.
Yeah.
It should be the other way around. They should be telling her, like, don't you fucking dare.
Bro, I swear to God, I hate like the relationship dynamic that certain women have where they go to their girlies to talk about like problems shit, or whatever. They just talk shit.
To their single friends as well. Their single friends.
Oh, girlie, just break up with him. Like they just want to drink him, buddy.
Yeah,
they just want to drink him, buddy. It's fucking.
When you're dating a girl, like seriously dating a girl.
Yeah.
You're dating her parents, you're dating her siblings, you're dating her friends, whoever she spends a lot of time with. So some girls you'll meet, they don't spend so much time with friends and they spend more time with family. Some girls don't spend so much time with family, they spend more time with friends. And you should ask yourself, would you give your heart to the people she spends time with? Would they look after your heart? Or would they just basically not even think about it, throw it to the dirt and not see that the value you provide in a relationship? Because if your girl's got like single friends who are constantly like chronically miserable, chronically man-hating Wizard Liz type of viewers, she's gonna tell them shit that's happening with you, which is normal. There's nothing wrong with opening up and trying to get support. And all of her friends, instead of actually really listening to her and emphasizing and like asking her the kind of questions that lets her come up with her own values, they're gonna almost like give her the look of shame, as if to say like, oh, you're low status unless if you listen to me, and you should just break up with her.
So fucking true.
And women are like conformists, right? Yeah. Women are definitely more like sheepish than men are. And if a woman says something about like her relationship, and her friends kind of give her, like an unspoken sort of look, which is as if to say like, oh, like, you're being a bit of a loser right now. She will start to feel a pull towards like thinking, okay, I might actually leave the situation.
How do you solve that as a man? So let's say I get into a relationship with a girl, like, because I feel like my solution is more aligned with just like setting the framing very early on, like this is ride or die, like this is me and you, we have a problem, we solve it immediately. I don't want to go to bed low-key resenting you without having a conversation and realizing that there's probably no fucking reason to resent each other anyway. It's just a misunderstanding. I really don't do well with like conflict and then just leaving it. If there's any sort of friction or conflict, it annoys me so much that it's taking up mental bandwidth in my head that it's like, you have about 24 hours, no matter how much I've pissed you off or no matter what you think, you have 24 hours to like talk to me and solve the problem. From that point on, you're genuinely dead to me. That is my mental framing. I do that with friends and lovers as well. And some people I tell that to, they're like, oh, well, Sam, that's fucking crazy. Some people just want a bit of space. I'm just like, at that point, if we're not talking about it, you're being selfish as fuck, because more likely than not, it's just a misunderstanding. And you're just going on this like
like lack of communication skills, letting you sit with the sort of
it's
anxiety.
Bullshit. And I low-key resent you, you low-key resent me, you're coming up with conclusions without talking to me. It's bullshit. Like what do you need to think about? Let's talk.
Distance out of nowhere, and
let's
now
talk.
you're sat. I felt this in like a previous relationship where like, there's like shit to talk about. It's kind of rocky right now, and they kind of like disappear for a bit, which I get. Okay, sometimes you need your own space to kind of process. I kind of get that, but at the same time, it's like, if you don't communicate that well, the other person's just sat there with a bunch of anxiety wanting to sort of resolve this. Like I've dated a girl who like every time there was a bit of conflict, she just didn't really have like the sort of emotional maturity to be able to sort of like communicate. So it would be like she'd do something wrong, she'd do something that would hurt me. I'd tell her, okay, this is what hurt me. And then she'd cry because I feel hurt, and then it's all about her again. Every single time.
Oh, brother.
It was exhausting. This was the same girl who said that she'd be fine as a single mother.
Oh, yeah, bro. You got this. Thing again. You need experience in relationships because you need to know the traps. I had it with my ex where whenever there was a problem, she would never like really talk about it. I had to like pry it out of her with a fucking crowbar.
Yeah.
I could tell something was wrong.
Yeah.
But she's just like, oh no, it's fine. No, tell me. No, seriously, tell me. Like, and I swear to God, I did so much heavy lifting emotionally in that relationship. So much heavy lifting. I consider one of my greatest strengths is emotional intelligence. Yes, true. So like, okay, I get it. I'll probably be doing like a lot of the emotional fucking Aikido or whatever the fuck, but like, dude, there was just zero effort from her. Yeah. Zero.
Because it feels uncomfortable for certain girls. Like I feel like girls who have been quite like pampered by family, and they've not had to take sort of accountability, responsibility for their actions. They feel very uncomfortable with a situation in which they have to either open up, or for example, you open up and tell them something that hurt you. They break down and they can't just sit there, feel your pain and say, I'm so sorry I did that, I didn't mean to hurt you. They'll randomly snap at you and say, but you did this 2 weeks ago. And what I found is those same girls, what hurts the most, agitates me the most, those same girls still talk about like communication, and they'll try and psychoanalyze me or something. And I'm like, you're blatant, I don't say this, but you're blatantly the one who's like got fucked up sort of communication skill. Yeah, you're retarded. It's as simple as that. You're retarded like the Wizard-Liz.
Don't psycho. Yeah, the girls.
I hate this. The girls who psychoanalyze me, they're always the ones who are the most fucked up.
I was literally about to say the same thing. Yeah.
It's so cringe. The last time like some girl tried to psychoanalyze me in the gym as well. It's so like such a weird fucking environment to come up and start judging me and like trying to break down my psychology or something. Oh man. You gotta, like, when you find a girl who's got like great, like my ex had amazing communication skills, and I felt like a fucking like idiot and fucking asshole next to her sometimes because she would communicate something so well, and the way I would communicate, when something hurt me, I'd say it so disrespectfully. I'd use swear words and I'd insult her, you've done this, whatever. And every time she'd just give me a look of pain. And she'd be like, that really hurt me. And I'd feel like a fucking asshole. I'd be like, holy shit, I didn't even realize that. Like, I kind of like, like my sort of dark side came out there. I didn't even realize that, like, how rude that was. She was whenever she had something on her mind, she would communicate it in a way that never upset me. But whenever I had something in my mind, I would communicate it in a way that would be quite like quite offensive for, just in general, like disrespectful. And then she taught me the skill of like being able to express something that I was feeling, but without causing offense, which it's a skill you should probably learn in like childhood, but I just didn't really learn it.
Well, we were playing RuneScape and shit, right?
Yeah, I was swearing at people online. If you didn't use swear words, fuck you. I was like, on RuneScape you couldn't swear because it'd show up as like asterisks. So you'd come up with words could say.
F4, CK,
Baby shit would work. And house fuckle. So you'd write like house fuckle you.
Oh god, fucking autism.
5 hit for shit. Yeah, video games definitely ruined my communication skills, bro.
Yeah, it definitely.
I can only respond to like a bit of conflict with racism.
Yeah, it took a hit. It's taken a lot of work to undo some of the damage from those Modern Warfare 2 lobbies.
I never played them actually.
Oh, bro, fucking Modern Warfare 2 lobbies was a rite of passage as a man.
Yeah. I had League.
Oh yeah.
That was probably just as bad.
League's like text-based, it hits different when you hear like a grown-ass man calling you the N-word and you're like 13 years old. It does a lot for you. That's probably where I got my emotional intelligence from.
Yeah,
you're
quick and and witty as well. You've had to be, bro.
Oh yeah, bro, I had to defend myself.
If you don't return instantly, it's like you've lost them now.
Yeah, the whole lobby's laughing at you, dude. It's not good. Social hierarchies.
Yeah, it's going down.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's a good point to end the potty on.
Yeah, man.
That was awesome, though. Thanks for watching, boys. My friend here is small channel, so go check him out.
Please.
Small channel, he needs some subscribers.
Like and subscribe, please.